Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're trying out a really fun team featuring Ribombee and Physical Goodra. We've used Special Goodra a bunch on this channel already, but Physical Goodra is something that I haven't used ever, and this is a super interesting combo where you're able to increase Goodra's attack through Ribombee using Absorb. You're also able to boost Goodra's speed through Speed Swap, so a bunch of cool things you can do. Either, go for Speed Swap immediately to make Goodra super fast, or go for a turn 1 Absorb as you Dynamax Goodra, and then Speed Swap the following turn and makes Goodra just a really bulky and strong physical Pokemon. So the rest of the team also got some pretty cool stuff in Weakness Policy. Perish Song Lapras. This has Ice Beam actually instead of Freeze Dry. You've got Mystical Fire, Sylveon, Taunt, Shadow Sneak, Life Orb, Mimikyu, and Citrus Berry and Incineroar. So this team was actually built by one of my Twitch subscribers, Osekai, who was able to win a small tournament that I organized for my Twitch subs this past weekend. So definitely wanted to feature the team. And yeah, I mean, Goodra with Ribombee is not a combination I've ever used before. So excited to give this a go. As you see, it is a rental team, so feel free to try it out yourselves. And the code is in the description below. Question of the day, with this being a really fun combo and us still trying out new things on this channel, I'm really curious what fun combos you guys are trying and what things that you like, especially in Series 4 of VGC 2020. So definitely let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please show your support by leaving a like in the video, and I'd really appreciate it. And let's just get today's episode started. So yeah, I think with this team, I'd really like to Dynamax Goodra as much as possible, and it's honestly, like, there are a lot of games where you can pull it off, especially because with Assault Vest and Goodra's insane special defense, you take attacks pretty well, and Incineroar here, just for Intimidate, is really able to cover a lot of these big physical threats. So, let's get into game 1 of today's episode, as we're up against, everything looks standard here, but then the hat kind of throws things off, because it's not really a Trick Room team at all. Like, you've got a lot of mid to fast tier speed Pokemon, so hat on that team composition is definitely interesting to me. So let's see. It's a sand team, obviously. Now, we could go with Dynamax Lapras. And the reason why that works out decently is because of the threat of multiple super effective type attacks, whether it be Rock Slides from Excadrill, Tyranitar, or Max Rock Falls, or Rotom. So, like, what we could do is just go with Instant Lapras. But this is a Goodra team, and I wanted to feature Goodra as much as possible, and it's honestly not bad here either. So, I'm thinking of just going with Goodra Ribombee. If my opponent goes with Sand, for example, I can kind of dunk on that. I think Rotom might be a lead to cover for Lapras, and Goodra walls Rotom completely. So I'm actually, I'm thinking about those. Question is what I want in the back. Sylveon is not that great here, being weak to the Excadrill, can also get Snarled. Incineroar seems like a pretty easy bring, given the fact that my opponent has 3 physical attackers. I could go like Incineroar Mimikyu, which doesn't seem terrible. Yeah, I like having Mimikyu here. I mean, Incineroar and Mimikyu both are decent offensively here. And I think if I weren't very hard committed to Goodra, I would probably Dynamax Lapras in this game. Or I should say Gigantamax. But yeah, I really want to try to see what we can do with Goodra here. And yeah, I mean, my opponent has a bunch of threats. But like if my opponent goes with Tyranitar, we can actually just superpower that immediately. With Excadrill, we can just swap into Incineroar. And I think most of the times people are going to be Max Quaking. Because obviously Max Steel Spike isn't going to do anything to Goodra, so after Intimidate, we should take Max Quake decently, plus we don't kind of ignore the special defense boosts. So let's see, it's going to be Togekiss and Hat, actually. Okay, I gotta say, not what I was expecting at all. Not the end of the world, though. I really wonder, though, if that means my opponent's just going to max the Hat, which could be really ugly because of just dealing with confusion. But I honestly want to just go for a Absorb into Goodra, Dynamax to Goodra, and just go for Max Rockfall. I think if Togekiss doesn't max, this just one-hit KOs. But they also have to not follow me here. I would not mind Togekiss maxing, though, because we don't take that much damage from it. And right now, my biggest concern is Hat maxing and just G-Max smiting us to confuse everything. And I think that's, like, decently likely, so we'll see. Either way, though, Togekiss isn't going to max. Best case scenario is my opponent just like double Dazzling Gleams. If we get the Absorb off and Trick Room doesn't go up and we don't get confused, I think we're going to be in a phenomenal spot. But I think it's very unlikely all of those will happen. Yeah, if we max first, that should be G-Max Hat then, which means I don't mind taking the damage from G-Max Might. It's really dealing with confusion, which is really stressful. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let's see if we can attack through. Because, like, getting confused on an AV Pokemon really sucks because it's, like, you don't really have any other options. It's not like you can even try to max guard, and your only other way to reset the confusion is just to switch out. It's going to be after you. Scarf after you with G-Max Smite. That's some cheese. Onto Ribombee, which is fine. Like, the thing is, if we actually don't attack ourselves in confusion with these two Pokemon, that's actually a totally fine turn here. But, I mean, it's a 9/16 chance of... It's just over 50% for both of our Pokemon to make it through this turn. So let's see. Okay, we get the Absorb off, which is nice. So Goodra's at +1 attack. And let's see if we can attack through confusion here. Nice. Okay, that's actually a really good turn 1 for us then. Because it also gives us a free switch in. And actually, we have Parting Shot Incineroar. So, if that is Magic Bounce Hat, we can just go for Parting Shot on Select Slot relatively safely. I think we're definitely bringing Incineroar here because I could see my opponent bringing in, like, Excadrill. But, ugh. Yeah, that is some cheese. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, the hats have been Scarf Togekiss because it outsped our Ribombee. So, ugh. That is very scary. But, yeah, I think we have to go out into Incineroar here. We just go for a Parting Shot. A lot of hats now are not running Magic Bounce specifically because of this interaction. So, we'll have to see whether it is or not. But, Parting Shotting it is not the worst case, even if it isn't Magic Bounce, because then it means we actually get the Parting Shot off. That looks like Tyranitar coming in. Oh, that is fine by me. I've got +1 Max Knuckle right now. And I'm lowering Tyranitar's attack. So I think the play here is to definitely go for Parting Shot. We either switch it out or we, you know, get it to -1. I don't know if +1 Max Knuckle KOs. I'm pretty sure it does, though. I'd be surprised. I mean, this is 4x super effective against non-Dynamax Tyranitar. And yeah, it's weaker than Superpower, but okay, he actually switches out, which is fine by me. Into Rotom? Yeah, I mean, if the hat does get swapped out here, I think we just win the game. But even if not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, Goodra's been clutch today and been attacking through confusion, so this is huge. We get the Max Knuckle off. That is almost 50% of damage onto Rotom, nice. And if the hat actually gets bopped out here, that would be amazing. I think that'll just be game, honestly. Bye-bye. See you later. This game has actually gone perfectly so far. Yeah, because now it's like, how does my opponent beat the Goodra? Confusion is the answer to that. But that felt so good. Yeah, we've been lucky that we haven't been confused thus far as well, so that's been quite fortunate. Now there's actually an interesting debate of whether we switch out the Incineroar. Like, switching out Incineroar seems like a pretty obvious play, but then the thing is that it breaks the disguise on Mimikyu in the back, and I'm not sure I want that to happen right now. Because I've got Life Orb Play Rough, which should KO the Rotom, so I'm actually thinking of Parting Shot. Because I've got Citrus Berry as well, and I actually, like, Mimikyu outspeeds everything on my opponent's team right now, so... I'm leaning towards Parting Shot onto Rotom, and Max Knuckle onto the Tyranitar. Although this is +2 Max Wormwind. We have Max Overgrowth as well. That covers for the hat switching in. But if hat switches in, that's not really a problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think this is safe. Just Max Knuckle into Tyranitar. We just get the forfeit. Oh, that was such a good debut for this team. That was so sick. Yeah, so if you're running G-Max Hat, you might want to consider not running Magic Bounce specifically because of the Parting Shot interaction. So Healer, you know, like the other options are just worth considering. Mainly because, like, the thing with bouncing is if you're maxing Hat, like, Magic Bounce makes sense, but, like, how often are people going to be risking a taunt into the G-Max Hat anyway, right? So there's just something to consider. But either way, I mean, Goodra was huge for us in that matchup because our opponent didn't threaten us with offense. Like, turn 1 Smite into Goodra actually wouldn't have done that much anyway because Goodra's just so bulky, but because my opponent focused the Ribombee, like, yeah, we were just in a really good spot. So, I don't know. Scarf Togekiss with G-Max Smites kind of feels like you're trying to cheese your opponent because you're just going for after you confusion, but it totally could have worked, right? But once again, the odds are in our favor for us to get both attacks off. Like, confusion has a 25% chance, right? So, the odds of us attacking through both confusions is still over 50%. So when you look at the math there, like, it's more in our favor. But even a single confusion hit could have made things a lot scarier because if we didn't get the Absorb off, Ribombee feints, Goodra doesn't KO Togekiss, and we're not at +1 attack to start off the game. But we take those. All right, next game of the day, kind of like a hyper-offensive team from our opponent here with Hydreigon and Darmanitan, which are pretty interesting. Obviously, Tailwind support from Whimsicott, which makes me think we actually could go with the Trick Room route with Mimikyu in this game. Trick Room actually doesn't seem bad. The main thing is that if my opponent didn't have Milotic, I 100% lead Incineroar, but the threat of Milotic alone makes me think twice about leading it. I do think Trick Room is the better approach in this game. Max Lapras actually seems good as well. I really want to set up Trick Room. Either way, I think Mimikyu's a decent lead here, but I really want to lead Incineroar. The question is, how comfortable does my opponent feel leading Milo here? Honestly, probably decently comfortable. I don't know. I'm still thinking Ribombee Goodra here. Max Lapras puts in a ton of work in this matchup, though. So I feel like I should probably go with the Lapras route. It's just like Goodra is so fun. Okay, I'm going to try out Incineroar Mimikyu with Lapras in the back. Sylveon's still decent here, as is Goodra, but I guess Goodra non-max isn't amazing. Oh, what? That didn't go through. Okay, we're all... For some reason, it unselected what I was selecting with Instant and Mimikyu. So we are not bringing what I wanted to, but we'll play our way out of it. Let's see. At least by leading Lapras, this covers the option of my opponent leading the Milo, and I don't have to activate competitive immediately if they choose to lead with that. So it's really not the worst case. And actually, it is Milo Arcanine, so I guess this ends up working out for us, although Goodra would have been pretty... No, Goodra would have gotten intimidated here, so it wouldn't have been amazing. But yeah, it ends up working out for us. Okay. It's probably just going to be something like Snarl, right? But I think going for Hyper Voice Max Geyser here is still fine. We actually kind of got bailed by choosing the wrong Pokemon, which is funny. Dealing with this Milo will still be kind of problematic, but if we set up the Rain, go for Screens the second turn, and then Thunder, we also have Perish Song, right? So we want to just kind of prioritize picking up knockouts. So I think turn 1, Hyper Voice, and Max Geyser is safe here. If we went with Ribombee and Goodra, the problem with that, there's two problems. One, Arcanine could have Will-O-Wisp. I mean, they probably Snarl turn 1, but if you knock out the Ribombee and I'm not able to get speed control, then you can Will-O-Wisp the Goodra in subsequent turns. And 2, there's actually Arcanine, so it would mean that we get intimidated, which also isn't good. So I wanted to go with Instant Mimikyu, and if I had gone with that, I probably would have just gone for Fake Out into Milotic and Trick Room turn 1, but yeah, I ended up not getting the right selections in, but it might actually work out in our favor here. If we knock out the Arcanine, this actually is a really good turn despite getting Snarled because we have Perish Song with Lapras, so we can just set ourselves up for a late game Perish Song win. And he's just Scalding, which is fine by me. Okay. Sylveon takes that, no problem, no burn, which is nice. Unfortunately, I don't think -1 Max Geyser KOs the Arcanine here. Let's see. He's on with literally what looks like 1 HP. Okay, regardless of how this game goes, I want to go Ribombee Goodra again in game 3. Just cuz. See if it's Citrus or if you, it's gonna be Figgy, yeah. That's fine. We'll get Hyper Voice off here. It's not KOing Arcanine. Decent damage against Milotic here still, and it is actually... Is that Moringa? Not Moringa. Yeah, it is Moringa. Huh. That's interesting. Not too much of a problem, but wasn't expecting that. I want to set up screens right now, so I'm gonna G-Max Resonance into Arcanine and Hyper Voice. You probably just Snarl again, but that's fine by me. And you'd also protect Arcanine. That's fine. But I get screens up now. I mean, this doesn't do damage, but the reason why I prioritize that... he goes for Life Dew, actually. Very interesting. But if you have Life Dew, it makes me think you don't have Recover on Milo. And I don't mind... Once again, because if we were able to pick up... Like, despite us kind of being down after all of this... if we're able to just pick up another knockout after KOing Arcanine, all we have to do is just Perish Song and end the game. And Milo is really passive, so it's not really threatening us right now. And I get screens up, which means I shouldn't be taking that much damage from what's in the back. Of course, the main advantage for my opponent is that they will have Dynamax in this game after us, but I think this is doable still, despite all that. I wonder if Geyser was KOing through Protect there after Life Dew? No, I don't think it does, actually. So we're doing close, but either way, we just Geyser again. I mean... Actually, I think Max Lightning is better, right? Because I want to set up Terrain. I just don't know if Max Lightning and Hyper Voice KOs Arcanine, because you probably Life Dew and Snarl. Yeah, so I'd rather just play it safe here. I'd rather prioritize getting a knockout where I don't need to be KOing Milo immediately right now. He does switch out, though. Ah, we almost stumped on that with the Max Lightning. That was a risky switch, but I guess my opponent probably wasn't too worried about the threat of Max Lightning. I think if we just got that KO, we honestly would have just won the game there. So I guess I should have considered the switch out into Gyarados. Okay. I do have Thunder, right? So I'm still doing damage. Because, yeah, after the Snarl, I'm not really taking that much, but it's fine. -1 special attack. We have multiple turns of screens left. This is at +1 speed dev. So Gyarados is obviously the main target. So I'm up. I think I just want to Thunder it and switch Sylveon out. We could switch into Incin here. But I have weakness policy and screens up. Yeah, I don't want to give the competitive boost too early on. So as much as I don't want to go out into Mimikyu, I think I'd just go for it here. Yeah, the only reason I didn't max Lightning there was because of the threat of Arcanine just snarling a second time and going for Life Dew, which I actually think is the play I would make if I were my opponent's shoes because it's safer, but let's see. Because we have screens up, I think we should survive a max Overgrowth. I could see the Arcanine actually just going for a Geyser into the Mimikyu, which would work out in our favor. And if we knock out Gyarados, I actually think we win this game because my opponent committed a Dynamax to it, and I don't think my opponent has a great answer against late game Perish Song. But they're going for Max Quake. That was actually the best possible play. I think that means Gyarados should survive a Thunder now, unfortunately for us. But if we don't get burnt by like a Scald and it's not Berry Gyarados, yeah, it just might still be in Life Orb player off KO range. So it's not the end of the world. But at this point, it's going to be really difficult to knock out Milotic outside of Perish Song. So that's what we're relying on. He's going to just Life Dew. Okay, this fast Life Dew is actually really annoying to play around. Now, Gyarados doesn't heal that much from it, but it's still damage. Yeah, I think that was actually a really smart play by my opponent. That's definitely AB Gyarados as well. No paralysis, unfortunately, but it's fine. Yeah, I think I switch out here into Sylveon. I mean, a Geyser just knocks out Mimikyu, which is the problem right now. This is actually really tough to break through. If I just got the Lightning the turn it switched in, that would have been so good for us. I could go for a Trick Room. One option is to switch Lapras out into Incineroar and Trick Room. That actually doesn't seem too bad to me. Yeah, I mean, we'll be giving Milotic the competitive boost, but if we get Trick Room up in this game... I mean, this is risky, right? Because if my opponent just doubles up onto Mimikyu, which is actually decently likely, I'm in a lot of trouble. And we're giving Milo the competitive boost. It was... Yeah, this Life Dew it's the best use of Life Dew I think I've ever gone up against. Especially with Assault Vest and Snarl, it's just tough to break through all these really bulky attackers. It's got Steel Spike as well. I mean, that makes sense because it's Assault Vest, but dang. Let's see if the double up went up or if it was just a Life Dew again. Like, Life Dew would make sense. So let's see. Okay, just went for Scald. Nice play by my opponent. That play is safe too because, like, Lapras isn't really pressuring you at that point in the game, so it makes sense. Rain stops though, at least. We can still win this despite all of that, but it's obviously looking a little tougher now. He's got the defense boost. He's at +1 special defense as well. I mean, I guess we can bring in Lapras. Like, the main problem is that we weren't able to pick up a knockout in this game. Because, like, Perish Song was our win condition this entire time, and we weren't able to really get it off. Fake Out here is pretty safe into Milotic. Could just go for a Blind Thunder, and I guess that's probably still my best play. I think the Gyarados probably just goes for a Max Quake onto Incineroar, so you get to +2 special defense, but I think I still go for it. My only way of winning is to pick up a KO. Yeah. So this is like a super defensive Gyarados, right? If you're running Quake and Steel Spike, normally you have probably Max Geyser and Max Flying, so no Max Overgrowth. So it's Assault Vest Gyarados with Steel Spike and Quake. Milo flinches, and we missed Thunder. Okay. I think our opponent just played their team better than we did in this game, though. It's going to be really tough to win now. We needed damage. Because now you can just Scald the Incineroar, and I don't really have any counterplay to that. Yeah, I think we actually just lose hard now, because I don't have enough resources for a late game Perish Song. It just feels so bad, because I was so close to going for Max Lightning onto the Arcanine. I really should have considered the option of Gyarados switching in there. But if Arcanine just stayed in and it Life Dews, like, I thought it made more sense for my opponent not to risk Gyarados switching in, so... I don't know if I regret my play there so much. It's just frustrating because I was considering going for it. You should just Scald Incineroar now. Our only way to win is if for some reason Scald doesn't KO the Incineroar and we knock out Gyarados with a double up. Because then we could maybe pick up another KO. Okay, he's bouncing here too. Yeah, I got really just outplayed in this game. So props to my opponent. That's off to them. If I went with the lead I was intending to, I would have at least gotten Trick Room up, but I'm not sure how much that would have really helped me either way. I just wasn't like, Life Dew was actually a game-changing move here for my opponent, and it made it way tougher to play. Like, it made things way tougher to play around because it meant let the Arcanine... Yeah, had my opponent not had Life Dew, I would have always maxed Lightning the Arcanine, but because there was Life Dew, I was a little more wary of going for that. Yeah, I guess I'll just Hyper Voice Thunder here. But this Gyarados was super bulky as well, with both Steel Spike and Max Quake. I don't think Bounce KOs here, does it? Yeah, this Gyarados has probably just, like, full bulk, honestly. Which is the first time I've run into AV Gyarados with so much bulk. This Life Dew is so good, too. Props to my opponent. This is why Thunder is not a very good option. Feels bad missing. Obviously, it's Assault Vest, but it's still damage. Like, had we connected with the two, I think... Yeah, now we're just going to forfeit. What could we have done better in this game? The problem with Goodra is that Milo is very defensive, right? You almost always run, like, max HP, max defense. So even with boosts, like, we're not doing very much. So I don't think Goodra was the right approach in this game. I think AV Gyarados just... Like, I needed to consider that of more of a threat. The combination of Snarl, Life Dew, and AV Gyarados was actually really good against our team, I think. Especially because, as you saw, if we wanted to intimidate the Gyarados, which we did through Incineroar, we needed to activate competitive on my low dig. So I think the team just matched up really well against us, and some small techs like Steel Spike and Life Dew were really huge. Plus, our opponent played that quite nicely as well. If I were to replay that, I would consider... Also, missing out the knockout on Arcanine in the early game was huge. If we pick up that KO... the game is so much easier because then I get extra turns to really utilize... Like, the problem in that game was that Lapras spent all 3 turns of Dynamax facing up against Arcanine. If we get that KO early, I could have gone for Quick Attack Max Geyser, I guess, since I ended up leading with Sylveon. But, yeah, that was something where in Best of 1, I don't know, my opponent just had some really cool tools I didn't expect. This definitely feels like a Goodra game to me. I guess the main problem is Dragapult. But does my opponent really prioritize Dragapult when I have Mimikyu, Sylveon, Incineroar, and Lapras? I don't really think so, honestly. Because, like, honestly, Goodra looks really good against my opponent's entire team. The only thing he has to worry about is Dragapult, but we have, you know, some answers against that. Yeah, I'm definitely maxing Goodra this game, I think. It's just what I want to lead with. Part of me is fine leading Ribombee Goodra, because if my opponent leads anything but Dragapult, I have an incredible lead matchup. If they lead Dragapult, I can just pivot out into Incineroar immediately. And I think I'll probably want Sylveon because I've got Life Orb Play Rough, Shadow Sneak. Like, Sylveon's okay here, but there are 2 resists in Arcanine and Charizard, which I think are decently likely to come. Yeah, the thing with Ribombee and... Like, I'm hoping my opponent tries to go with Sun here. I think Dragapult's also decently likely to come out as a lead, but like I said, it's not the end of the world, as we can just switch out into Incineroar, stall out the Dynamax, and then try to Dynamax our Goodra. Really good use of Life Dew that last game. I like truly think that's the best use of Life Dew I've seen thus far. Fortunately, they go with Dragapult and Arcanine, which is not great, so like Goodra's in a pretty bad spot here. This lead was pretty passive against Lapras, though, so I'm surprised. Oh, it's beat up. Wait, I just realized it's beat up. Arcanine did not have Intimidate go off. Okay. If you're beat up, then I actually think you max the Arcanine here, right? I don't think +4 KOs Goodra, so I actually want to just go for a... I think my opponent goes for the beat-up stuff here, honestly. So I actually want to just Rockfall into the Arcanine, and I think Speed Swap. Yeah, let's go for it. This is off the read that he's going to Dynamax the Arcanine over the Dragapult. I guess it could just be offensive Dragapult with beat-up. Or my opponent's just bluffing and not having Intimidate, but not also not having beat up. Okay, Arcanine Dynamaxes it. That's good. That's what we want to see. It might not have been worth it. Actually, I think Rock Falling is fine. The problem with Rock Falling is that we set up the sand, so then the Ribombee goes down. But I think my opponent might target that slot anyway. No, but still... We could have Warm Winded, but I need damage against Arcanine. That's the thing, because this thing is just too much of a threat with beat up. So with Speed Swap could come in huge for us right now. But I'm glad at least that the Dragapult isn't offensive, because honestly I was more scared of that. So the fact that I think if it was just regular Dragapult and Arcanine, things could have been even scarier here. But yeah, there's the beat up stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure Goodra should take this. If not, we're in a lot of trouble, I think. But if we take this, we survive, we get the max Rockfall off, this actually ends up working out totally alright for us. Okay, let's see. Arcanine, hilariously enough, will actually take... Like, that beat up is... I mean, it's like a negligible damage, but it could be relevant. Let's see. And I'm hoping right now my opponent's not afraid of the Goodra, so they prioritize targeting the Ribombee more, but it should be a +4 max knuckle if I had to guess. Either way, we'll get speed swap off, so we'll outspeed Arcanine in subsequent turns. Okay. We get a rock fall off too, nice. Maybe I should have Worm Winded there then. That's a 2-hit KO on Arcanine though, yeah, another rock fall will KO that thing. So that's pretty good. Let's see who Arcanine targets. Flare. Okay, wait, that's actually perfect. Oh, that's so good for us. We're actually in a really, really good spot right now. Yeah, because Speed Swap just makes us faster immediately, my opponent changes the weather. So what I was initially thinking was actually right, but I wasn't sure about how that interaction would work. Yeah, I mean, another Rockfall should just KO Arcanine. So, like, I want to just go for a Rockfall onto Arcanine and go for a Absorb onto the Goodra. Yeah, that seems fine. Dragon Bolt might Dragon Darts us here, but the pressure is mainly coming from Arcanine right now, so... Oh, I totally should have thought about Ally Switch. I didn't consider that option, but once again, because we're faster than Arcanine, I don't think you one-shot us anyway. He's just going to Max Guard, which is fine by me. Could have Worm Winded there to play it safe. He's going to Draco. Dude, Assault Goodra is insane. Okay. Yeah, we're in a really good spot right now. Because we have Pollen Puff as well. I'm thinking I want to Wormwind here, but I don't know if it knocks out Arcanine. I mean, max Rockfall is what, 260? Max Wormwind is, yeah, significantly weaker. We're at +1, but I don't want to risk it. And I don't mind KOing our Ribombee to get a free switch in right now, honestly, so I'm down to just max Rockfall and actually go for a Pollen Puff right now onto Goodra to heal us. I mean, this lead is working out perfectly so far. He's just going to beat up more. Okay. I mean, this is -2 special attack now, Dragapult with beat up and Draco Meteor. We should just go first with Goodra, right? It might have a Citrus Berry, which would explain it, but even if it has Citrus Berry, I'm pretty sure Rockfall just KOs that at +1 attack anyway. Let's see. So Arcanine's a +6 attack now, but I don't think that's really much of a problem. Nice. Oh, let's go. Dude, Ribombee and Goodra is actually so sick. That was beautiful. Who would have thought leading Ribombee Goodra would be Dragapult Arcanine? Couldn't have been me. But, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I deduced that the Dragapult wouldn't have been too much of a threat because of the lack of Intimidate, but still could have been. So maybe that was a little greedy, but it worked out. And we get, like, a perfect setup here as Goodra's at full HP, too. So, unfortunately, Ribombee, our fallen soldier, will go down here, but it has done more than enough for us in this game, honestly. And I am very, very proud of its performance. So, thank you, Ribombee, for your service. Okay. So, we have Power Whip, we have Breaking Swipe. Draco Meteor's not even going to be doing too much to us. I'm thinking of bringing Incineroar here. I mean, my opponent had Charizard, Gastrodon. Gastrodon isn't really a threat. The reason Incineroar is a pretty safe switch in is because we have Fake Out pressure on whatever's next to Dragapult as well. So I think it's fine just to bring it in here. Charizard's going to come in, but that's fine. Especially because we actually outspeed with the Goodra. And we have Rockfall, right? So because we have Rock Slide, it's actually... Because I think this Dragapult probably will have screens and... it could have screens. It could have Ally Switch as well. But because we have Rock Slide, we get to play around Ally Switch. I mean, I guess it's also pretty safe to just go for Breaking Swipe and Fake Out, right? Like, we're at +1 attack, so I'm pretty sure Breaking Swipe should just KO here. It covers the option of Ally Switch, and Fake Out's pretty safe here as well, so I don't see a reason to... The only problem with this is if we get crit by a Draco Meteor from Dragapult. Like, Charizard probably wants to protect here, but I don't care if it does. Okay, it does. Because my other play was just Rock Slide and Darkest Lariat anyway. I guess he could have U-turn here, actually. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, he's going for the crit, which I think is the correct play. If they get it, I'll be really sad. Oh my goodness. I honestly feel kind of dirty. That's gross. That's actually gross. We took 25% from a super effective attack. Breaking Swipe, I think KO's Dragapult here, right? Oh, it actually doesn't. Okay. Cursed Body? Oh, I should have recognized that Intimidate went off when I sent it out. That was my bad. Wait, I'm sorry. Why is the Charizard speed... Scarf Charizard? What? I mean, that's the only explanation, right? It took Sandstorm damage before Dragapult. Wow, that sucks that we can't Breaking Swipe. Okay. Well, Dragapult faints here anyway. So we just have to nail what switches in, and Power Whip plus Flare Blitz KOs anything that comes in. So let's just go for that. I mean, there's no other explanation for Charizard being faster, right? He has to switch out here. Scarf? Yeah. Scarf Charizard with Protect. Interesting. Gastron. Beautiful. If we don't miss his Power Whip, that's game. If we miss it, things get a little bit more interesting because you can flinch me with Air Slash with Charizard. I mean, this Draco isn't doing any. I mean, we could also get crit here, which is scary. Oh my goodness. That's so satisfying, honestly. We actually missed the Power Whip. No! Okay. Well, that's still fine, but it makes this significantly tougher. I mean, Power Whip's accuracy isn't great there, but I didn't have a more consistent option because of Cursed Body. Otherwise, I would have gone for Breaking Swipe and Darkest Lariat there. So that's kind of unfortunate. We know it's Scarf Charizard, though, right? Which is fine. The thing is, I think my opponent goes... You have to Air Slash Flinch Goodra right now to win. That's your only opportunity. So what we do here is we just go for Rock Slide, I think. And Parting Shot. Man, both Cursed Body and... I guess I'll take those over getting flinched, though. You know? I mean, we could Power Whip Gastrodon here, too. It is only a 5% accuracy trade-off, right? But the problem is if Gastrodon protects. I know Charizard's Choice Scarf, so I'd rather just guarantee a KO onto that. So I'm going to Rock Slide here, I think, and Parting Shot into Gastrodon. So I think my opponent needs to Air Slash Flinch Goodra right now to have a shot. But they just Heat Wave, actually. Okay, that should just be game then. Because I'm pretty sure you don't even KO Goodra with Assault Vest right now. Okay, nice. Dude, Physical Goodra was so good in this game. Scarf Charizard with Protect is interesting, because I feel like you want Heat Wave, Overheat, Solar Beam, Air Slash. Like, Protect makes sense because it gives you the option to Dynamax and then Max Guard. And Scarf makes sense on the context of this team because, like, my opponent has Whimsicott, right? So you could just go for a fast Sunny Day in which Charizard you can outspeed things, but I feel like Scarf kind of limits you because then you probably don't want to max Charizard most of the time. So, yeah. The main thing is that we were able to foresee the beat-up stuff coming. Let's see how much Earth Power does. Oh, it didn't even target Goodra. Okay. So, given the lack of Air Slash there, surely Charizard doesn't have it. So, I'm guessing Heat Wave, Solar Beam, like Overheat, and Protect. So, yeah. I just really wanted to get the satisfaction of hitting a Power Whip onto a Gastrodon. A +1 Power Whip against a 4x super effective. But, let's see. If we hit this one, it's also fine. It's actually safer, I think, to taunt here just to prevent recover. I mean, we've got this one. Yeah, my opponent just forfeits. Okay, not bad. I think what I learned from today's episode, there's a pretty clear trend. We brought Goodra Ribombee in 2 games, and we won those 2 games. The one game we didn't bring Goodra and Ribombee in, we lost. Solution, we have to bring Goodra and Ribombee more in future games. That was a really fun episode, though. And that loss, honestly, I don't feel too bad about because I thought my opponent played it super well, and they showed some really cool stuff. Once again, just really best demonstration of Life Dew I've seen thus far. So I think if I were to replay that, I would prioritize knocking out... Like, my game plan was to pick up KOs and then set up Perish Song. The problem is that I didn't even get to pick up a single KO. So if I were to redo that, I'd probably... Honestly, like, Lapras Sylveon wasn't even that bad of a lead, but I need to knock out Arcanine, and missing out that KO by, like, 1 HP was pretty bad. I think if I were to replay that, I'd actually probably lead Mimikyu Lapras because I can taunt the Milo. So turn 1, what I could do is, like, Shadow Sneak Max Geyser to KO the Arcanine. Turn 2, taunt the Milo, and then go from there. So that's probably how I would have approached a best of 3 against our second opponent. But those were some really fun games, so I can't really complain. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Leave a like, as always, if you enjoyed. Go check out the team yourself. Feel free to try it out yourself. It is a rental team. Code linked in the description below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Peace.